Hirji is internationally recognized as a champion for diversity and inclusion. Under her leadership as the Chief Human Resources Officer at RBC, she's helped Canada's largest financial institution gain recognition as a leading employer across the globe with more than 80,000 employees in 40 countries. She's one of 8 executives responsible for setting the overall strategic direction of RBC. Zabeen's success draws on her family's own struggle. She was born in Tanzania and immigrated to Canada in 1974. She saw the challenges her mother faced firsthand, striving to find a job as a new Canadian. This eye-opening experience was a formative influence on Zabeen. Her career at RBC began in 1977, where she advanced quickly over the decades from bank teller to C-suite executive. Through her journey, Zabeen has stood behind the business case for inclusion, that women and newcomers to Canada are a large and underutilized source of human resources, and one that plays an integral role in Canada's future economic growth. She says, to serve the market, you need to hire the market. Zabeen's advocacy for diversity reaches far beyond RBC. She's involved in many organizations, including serving as co-chair of the Toronto Regional Immigrant Employment Council. As a well-known spokesperson for women and minorities, Zabeen has received many awards for professional achievement. She's been inducted into Canada's Most Powerful Women, Top 100 Hall of Fame, and has been twice named a Top 25 Woman of Influence. She credits her father for teaching her to never limit her ambitions just because she's a girl. Zabeen Hirji is an outstanding leader who has looked beyond convention to make the local and global business community a better place.
Just an incredible story from bank teller to one of the execs at RBC, and she joins us right now. Please welcome Zabeen Hirji. Come on up.
Thank you, and I do have a couple of records to set straight. First of all, I need to speak to the organizers. I wasn't told that I was going to follow a rock star. And for those of you that were paying attention and have your calculators out, that I started in 1977, I want you to know that I was 9 years old when I started at RBC. Anyway, I am deeply honored and humbled to be here and to share the stage with such distinguished and diverse alumni. This group truly reflects our belief at RBC that simply having diversity is interesting, doing something with it is powerful. There's something very special about being recognized by the very institution that has played a big part in inspiring me to dare to dream big and to push myself to act on it. Thank you, Simon Fraser University. And thank you to my own constellation, remarkable colleagues at RBC, mentors, community partners, and my family who inspired me and lifted me up. I couldn't have done it without them, and I really do feel this recognition belongs to all of us. Over the years, I've developed the courage to get behind my personal purpose to advocate for issues I'm passionate about. And life is a journey. My lessons come from what went well and what didn't. I'll share a few chapters from my story focusing on pivotal experiences where I asked myself, if not me, who? If not now, when? Chapter 1, men advocating, wrong direction. Chapter 1, men advocating for women matters. My story began in Tanzania, where I was born to first-generation immigrants of Indian heritage. A great shot, by the way, in the video. My father was a successful entrepreneur, a great teacher to me, and truly a man ahead of his time. As a young girl, I showed interest in his business, so he took me to work with him. And I did real work. In fact, I even got to help with the banking, so that might have been the beginning of my banking career. And our family dinner conversations often turned to business, and he included both my mom and I in the same way that he did my brother. Unfortunately, my dad passed away when I was 11, but he instilled in me the belief that I should never limit my ambitions just because I was a girl. I carry this precious gift with me to this day. So to the men in the room, I say, don't underestimate the impact your encouragement and actions have on the girls and the women in your lives. If not you, who? Chapter 2, push yourself outside your comfort zone. In 1979, a couple of years after I joined RBC as a teller in Vancouver at Commercial and First Branch, a recruiter from head office came to our branch. Two of my male colleagues were given interviews for the management training program, but I was passed over for reasons that I quite frankly didn't agree with. I believed I was an equally qualified candidate, so I pushed myself outside my comfort zone and approached the recruiter, and the rest, as they say, is history and probably the beginnings of my passion and commitment to changing that story. And I'm pleased to say that today at RBC, 40% of our women are executives. Or 40% of our executives are women. I could only, we have to dream big. I'm fortunate to have held roles in many different parts of the bank, in the retail banking, operations, technology, strategy, credit cards. So maybe a bit of that interdisciplinary that you were talking about, Jennifer, just in terms of my own career background. And that's really prepared me well for my leadership in human resources. Now, believe me, I've had more than a few sleepless nights when I made some of those moves. However, many turned out to be career-defining experiences and real confidence builders, as I realized I could thrive in new and unfamiliar areas by drawing on previous experiences, as well as mentors, colleagues, and my own team. So some of my key learnings there: being the best you can be, pursuing your passion takes courage. You need to take risks. And you need to own the choices you make and have the conviction and the resiliency to see them through. Thank you, Mom, who's in the audience, for being such a strong role model. You courageously brought your 2 teenage children to Canada because you had hopes and dreams for us. You pushed yourself outside your comfort zone. You too asked yourself, if not me, who? If not now, when? That leads me to chapter 3, authenticity is the new MBA. I'm learning that being authentic is at the core of being a good leader. When I first came to Canada, I believed that in order for me to be a real Canadian, I had to give up my identity. That's not a winning formula. When you don't fully embrace who you are, you don't connect as well at a human level, and you simply cannot be your best. In my late 30s, as I reflected on my own journey, I came to a really important realization that I am a multi-dimensional person, and each dimension matters. First and foremost, I'm a proud Canadian, and I'm of Indian origin, and I was born in Tanzania. In fact, the magic of Canada is that we don't have to choose. We're encouraged to be multidimensional individuals in our pluralistic society. I also realized it was time to give back by telling my story, thanks to my son, Adam. I was expressing my discomfort at being in the spotlight, and Adam very nonchalantly said, "Mama, it's no longer about you, it's about others. It's about the women and minorities who hear your story and believe they can do anything they want, so just get over it." Now, everyone has their stories. This room is full of accomplished people, and I hope you're telling your stories too. If not you, who? If not now, when? The final chapter this evening is people are our greatest asset. Now, you know, I didn't really set out to have a career in human resources. When I landed there, I expected I would eventually move on to another area, just as I had previously in my career. However, I made the decision to stay in HR because I'd reached the stage in life where my choices were increasingly aligned to my personal purpose. I found my sweet spot where, without question, I could have impact on the performance of our company, but equally importantly, I could make some difference in the lives of our employees by enabling their success. This is about performance with purpose. So my advice to my 20-year-old self, well, my answer is inspired by my daughter, Aaliyah. She's an independent thinker. She pursues her purpose and passion and makes choices that feel right to her versus what's easy or what's popular. Thank you, Aaliyah. My role at RBC is about ensuring that we attract and keep the best talent and also about shaping culture. And shaping culture has required me to act on some of those if not me, who, if not now, when moments. Most recently, I've worked with our new CEO, Dave Mackay, to define RBC's collective ambition, our organizational purpose. Why do we exist as a company? What's our vision? What are our modernized values for a new era? And one of our 5 values is diversity and inclusion. This is about harnessing the talents and the potential of our 80,000 employees to help our clients thrive and communities prosper. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is also the story of our Canada. Our greatest asset is our people. In order to harness the talents, the energy, the dreams of all 35 million Canadians, we must build inclusive workplaces, communities, and societies. It's not simply the right thing to do, it's also the smart thing to do. It is about nation building. Ladies and gentlemen, I leave you with one final thought. Diversity is a fact. Inclusion is a choice. If not you, who? If not now, when? Thank you.